Welcome to the Islip Town Board meeting for the month of August. I can't believe it's August already. Wow, it's been a fast year. I'd like to ask our town clerk if everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. And I'm going to ask Olga Murray to lead us in the pledge. But before she begins, I just want to share some information. Under the direction of Town Clerk Olga Murray and Deputy Town Clerk Patricia Kersey, they were recently recognized by the Department of State. The Town Clerk's Office and Pat Kersey's Passport Manager Program were awarded an Outstanding Acceptance Facility Oversight Review for maintaining compliance with all regulations as required by the Passport Agency's reference guide. This is really a big deal. The town's passport facility downstairs in the clerk's office processed over 3,000 passport requests in 17, which is up 33% from 16 and is on track to see a 30% increase in 18 as well. So join me in congratulating Olga and Pat and their entire team. Thank you. If you would, Olga.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one God, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. This month we have a number of very special reasons to be proud to be part of and live in the town of Islip. First of all, yesterday, if anybody was in downtown Islip and probably throughout the town, saw the Bayshore fire truck go by, the Redskins drill team this week earned the title 2018 New York State champions. So they were very excited, and it's been 21 years in the making for them. So they're really thrilled. So let's congratulate the members of the drill team. I'd like to ask Mark Taramino to come forward. Mark is our Director of Sports and Athletics with the Town of Islip Department of Recreation and Cultural Affairs. He's going to introduce our next group of honorees. And Mark has done an incredible job this season. He is responsible for the lifeguards and everything that's been happening at our beaches and our pools, including sharks this summer. Great job his first year. Yeah. So Mark's been with the town for many years and does a fine job. We're very proud of you, Mark. Thank you so much. So go do your thing.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, thanks, Supervisor. Here today to recognize some of our ocean lifeguards and the Fire Island Ferry staff for something that happened on July 4th, actually one of the busiest days of the summer. So we had a family that was getting onto the ferry, and mom holding kids' hands, getting onto the boat, and all of a sudden, young boy actually falls right into the water in between the ferry and the bulkhead. And if any of your parents out there, you kind of know that scream a mom lets off or a parent lets off when something happened to their child. And Frank Lepore, ocean lifeguard, the rest of the Fire Island Ferry staff heard that scream, quickly jumped into action. Frank immediately went into the water, got the child out. The rest of the ferry staff also helped getting the child out. But this is a tragedy that was definitely averted by quick actions, quick thinking from the staff, not only the lifeguards, but the Fire Island Ferry staff. And, you know, you talk about it and, you know, you see some of the, you know, the action that went on that day. And that's something that mom, she's glad that Frank was there. The Fire Island Ferry people were quick to respond. So today I'd like to recognize if Frank Lepore, Hannah Lepore, Sam Lepore from Town of Islip Ocean Lifeguards, can you please come forward? Fire Island Ferry Captain Mike Miller, Fire Island Deckhands Mike Hand, and Noah Chevette, if you can please come forward. Because of your quick response, Mom is very happy today that her son is still with us. So thank you guys for everything you do, getting everyone over to Fire Island throughout the summer and keeping our beaches safe. We couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you.
I would just ask Dave Anderson and Luke to please come forward and join us, because they certainly oversee the operations. Hundreds of thousands of people every year are transported from Bayshore over to Fire Island, and they do an incredible, incredible job.
Great, congratulations.
So next, 13 East Islip students who, through their ability to overcome a disability, have achieved incredible triumphs. I'd like to invite Councilman James O'Connor to the podium to introduce our honorees.
The East Islip Special Olympics team took to the field for the third consecutive year, competing on May 19th at the Long Island Spring Games North, hosted by Bethpage High School. For any of you who have ever been to Special Olympics, it's a fabulous event. My son Matthew has participated, and it's really a great thing to watch the kids race down the track. And despite heavy rain, the student athletes maintained their focus and competitive spirit, resulting in the team bringing home a total of 24 medals. The team trained for approximately 2 months to prepare for their track and field events, with each athlete competing in 2 events. Through their hard work and dedication, alongside the commitment of their coaching staff and the volunteers, the support of the volunteers, the year was another success for East Islip's team, which earned 11 gold, 11 silver, and 2 bronze medals. Please join me in congratulating the East Islip Special Olympics team. Thank you.
They were here. Are they here? Oh, please come forward.
Great job. Thank you. Great job.
The coaches are here, I think. Yeah, please come forward.
Yeah.
Everyone, right this way. Big smile. Another. Great, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good job, guys.
Our next honoree is Angel Athenas. Angel, come forward. And if your family would like to join you, we'd love to have them come up. Angel is a multiple gold medal winner in powerlifting who broke the record. Yay! At the 2018 National Special Olympics in Old Bethpage in May. And on a personal note, we have a very special connection to Angel. Her mom, Jerry Athenas, was a longtime Town of Islip employee who was incredibly dedicated to her work in the town attorney's office for many, many years. Angel will be going off to the World Championship Special Olympic Games in Dubai in March, and we wish her much success. Congratulations, Angel. Okay, so it really is a cool day today. As many of you know, and I'd ask Belle to come forward, please. As many of you know, the Town of Islip has been working with our partners at the state, county, and federal government for more than 30 years to improve the area left blighted when the Central Islip Psychiatric Center closed down. I am delighted to announce today that this month the Town of Islip was named the recipient of the 2018 New York State Downtown Revitalization Grant, the DRI. This grant will allow us, the grant is $10 million. It will allow us to invest this into the revitalization of downtown Central Islip. Islip was incredibly excited to submit our application for consideration for this much-needed investment from the DRI. I'd ask also Bill Mannix, Ron Meyer, And anyone from your team who's here that worked on that application to please come forward also, please. This was a very, very competitive process with a wonderful opportunity to work side by side with community leaders and passionate residents of Central Islip who are truly committed to making their hamlet a better, more vibrant community. Even through adversity, the residents of Central Islip have proven themselves to be strong, resilient, and willing to fight for the betterment of their community against all challenges. While so many hamlets on Long Island express resistance to change or development, Central Islip residents are actively seeking investment and embrace positive change for the community. Through hard work and tenacity, our community has built the framework for a lively downtown that complements Islip's unique combination of access to public transportation, employment opportunities, visitor amenities, and cultural diversity. Today, with the DRI Award, Islip will make sure our community continues to attract businesses, jobs, and families. I have no doubt that this investment will create a lasting difference for generations to come here on Long Island and all of Islip. I'd like to thank the members of the town board and everyone who, for all of their tireless efforts, and it was really a tremendous effort. It was the third year that we applied for this grant. We were not giving up. Right, Belle? Belle is a member of the REDC, the Local Regional Economic Development Council, and she, along with the co-chairs, Kevin Law of the LIA and Stu Rabinowitz of Hofstra University, co-chaired this panel, and they were tasked with reviewing the enormous amount of applications and worthy applicants for this award. Then they send it on to the state DEC for REDC for final approval. I'd also like to thank Jim Morgo and again Belle Pagdaganen, who, with our Town of Islip team, were there at our final presentation. Ron, Bill, and joining us that day was Frank Bolton from the Long Island Ducks, who I think was the poster child for success in public-private partnership, and I'm sure that helped us be successful that day. So to Ron Meyer, Bill Mannix, Frank Bolton, and certainly to his team, thank you so very, very much. So, Belle, you want to make that formal presentation again? Thank you. So, as I mentioned in my opening remarks, it really is an exciting time in the town of Islip. Not only are we celebrating the $10 million grant for Central Islip, but there's also special reason to celebrate something very, very special in the hamlet of Brentwood. As we conduct this meeting this August summer day, children are swimming in the newly opened pool at Roberto Clemente Park. Hallelujah. You know, last week, crews put the finishing touches on the renovation to the pool, and we opened this absolutely beautiful community treasure on Saturday. I'd like to thank everyone and ask that you turn your efforts to the screen so that you can see a brief video of what's happening at Clemente. Hi there, this is Islip Town Supervisor Angie Carpenter, and I'm excited to share the wonderful news with our residents that the pool construction at Roberto Clemente Park has been completed. Since the groundbreaking for work on the pool in 2017, our crews have worked tirelessly to complete the renovation and give our residents a new summer destination. During this process, though, we found the existing pool had a lot more structural damage than initially thought, and most of the original pool walls were actually destroyed and beyond repair. This development forced the construction of a brand new pool, actually, to ensure the safety of our residents and to restore the Olympic-sized pool. This development, combined with the harsh winter we experienced, caused us to revise our initial anticipated completion date. Through the perseverance of our crews, through the leadership of the Department of Public Works and Parks Commissioner Tom Owens, and with the great patience of our excited residents, we have now accomplished our goal. and not just restored the pool at Roberto Clemente Park, but essentially constructed an entirely new pool for our residents to enjoy. The new picnic tables are handicapped accessible as well and can be found under our new sun shelters. Also of special note are the beautiful grounds around the pool. Commissioner Owens and his staff did a tremendous job planting trees, laying down sod, and really creating a scenic setting for our new pool that is colorfully green and lively looking. Our residents can enjoy the marvelous pool, which features brand new state-of-the-art materials, including 2 handicapped access points into the water for individuals with special needs. The pool at Roberto Clemente Park is a wonderful asset to the Central Islip and Brentwood communities, and actually to the town of Islip as a whole. We move forward as we continue our quest to bring much-needed restoration to Roberto Clemente Park and the surrounding areas. The Renaissance at this park is a monument to the strength, versatility, and perseverance of our communities that we are proud to have in our wonderful town of Islip. Thank you very much, Ryan, for putting that together. And on behalf of the town board, I'd like to extend our most sincere thanks to our team at the Department of Public Works and Parks, Recreation and Cultural Affairs, who together worked side by side, one cohesive unit under the direction of Commissioner Tom Owens, Deputy Commissioner, along with Tom, his Deputy Commissioner Deirdre Wahlberg, and Tom Call, and Town Engineer Chris Polker, and the more than 60-plus town employees who worked around the clock on this project, who saw it through to the end with the goal of giving this pool back to the community before summer's end, and to be commended. They really need to be commended for their dedication. This is what public service is all about, and we are so very, very grateful to all of you. The pool is a shining example of your commitment and your dedication to your work and to our residents in the town of Islip. It gives me tremendous pride to be the supervisor in the town where its employees are truly dedicated to their work and to the residents. We hope everyone will join us as we celebrate this coming Monday, August 27th, with a family fun night at Clemente. You know, when the video was showing and the first shot of the pool with the water, when I heard a few gasps of, wow, that makes it all worthwhile. And I know I speak for Tom and his team and the town board and anyone that had any role to play in bringing this abandoned pool back to the community. So I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their summer with friends, family, and loved ones. And please don't forget to be there Monday at 5 o'clock. We'll celebrate the opening of the pool. There's going to be music and food trucks and a movie later on. It's Coco, lots of games for the kids, giveaways, and free hot dogs, compliments of the Brentwood Fire Department. So we will see you all on the 27th. Thank you so much. And now let's get to the meeting. Thank you so much. We will begin this afternoon with our scheduled public hearings for the board's consideration. I call upon the town clerk, Olga Murray, to please read the first hearing notice.
Today's hearing is to consider amending the Islip Town Uniform Traffic Code Schedules C, G, and J.
Good afternoon, Madam Supervisor, members of the board, Madam Clerk. Peter Kletchka, 401 Main Street, Islip. Traffic Safety Division has several revisions to the Uniform Traffic Code for your consideration today. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Peter. Are there any questions from the board? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to close this public hearing and adopt the changes.
Motion by Councilwoman Bergen, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Madam Clerk, that concludes our public hearings?
Yes,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you. Okay, at this time then we will go to the public portion where everyone has an opportunity to address the board on any issues or concerns that they may have. Again, as I've said in the past, this is not a question and answer, but if you have specific concerns, the various department heads and commissioners are here, and we'll try to step out with you if it's appropriate to help you with your problems. But please rest assured, everyone is taking notes, and we will be listening very intently. The first person who signed up today is Vanessa Lockle from actually the Long Island Railroad. Vanessa?
Hello, Town of Islip. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm actually here with my colleague as well, Ryan Attard. We are going to be giving you a brief update on the Long Island Railroad and what's been going on. As you're aware, we do have...
Address here, where you can be located, your name and address, please.
Oh, sure. My name is Vanessa Lockle. You can reach me at VLOCKEL@LIRR.org. Also, I do provide my cell phone number. It's 917-364-8940. And people use it all the time, so no worries, okay? With that being said, thank you so much for this opportunity. It's a pleasure to be back at the Town of Islip. As I mentioned, the Long Island Railroad is under a new administration. We have Phil Eng, who is now going to be in charge of MTA Long Island Railroad, and he is 100% dedicated on community engagement. So you're going to see a lot of us out and about. You might even see us walking on the platform. And as a matter of fact, we are going to be at the Brentwood train station tomorrow during AM peak hours. This is for Meet Your Managers. It's an initiative that we have ongoing throughout all the different stations, and we will work with you in promoting the ones that are happening in this area. But these are basically at the beginning of the month. They're pop-ups, and it is an opportunity to meet your branch line manager at your station and talk about the issues that you are having particular to either that station, with that branch, or in just your overall experience with the Long Island Railroad. Phil Eng is known to attend those, so feel free to come up to him and approach him and talk to him about that. With that, I wanted to talk about what's actually happening in Brentwood. We had met with a supervisor to talk a little bit about the old Brentwood Station House. And at that time, that was about, let's say a couple weeks ago, we've had an update since then. For many of you, the concern is that, there's some homelessness issues, some loitering concerns about what's happening with the old station house. So are we going to get to update it and fix it? And the truth is that, yes, we are. The plans for the renovation for the former station house, the station building, have been approved. And the contractor that we are reviewing is the insurance portion of the review part is 90% done. So we should hopefully have approval before the end of this week. Another aspect that we were waiting on was that Suffolk County needed to inspect the septic system. That has already happened. We have the written report, and at this point we're just waiting for the final outcome, which is an expected positive, favorable pass. With that all working perfectly, as we're assuming that it will, October 1st will be our start date for construction in that area. I'll hand it over to Ryan Attard. Oh, no? You're okay? We're okay? Okay, sorry. I apologize. Thank you for the extra time. With that, in regards to some of the concerns that were brought up for police activity, we do have a police, MTA PD will be reviewing the area, and they now have a parking spot in that area. So in the interim, we are working on those concerns immediately. And now I'll pass it over to my colleague who will be talking about the other station, the new station here, the station enhancements, as well as some vegetation updates. Thank you so much.
Hello, thank you. Again, my name's Ryan Attard. I'm a colleague of Vanessa's in Government and Community Affairs. So I just wanted to update you on some capital improvement projects that are happening at the Brentwood and Deer Park Station. We just started work there, and we're expected to be completed late fall. At both stations, you can expect in the station building new ADA bathrooms, paint, flooring, security cameras, benches, USB charging stations, all new advertising digital boards, There'll be Wi-Fi hotspots both in the station house and on the platform. We're also going to get new trash receptacles, platform railings, shelter sheds, and LED light fixtures. So we're really excited to move forward with that, and as we continue the project, we can keep you updated, and you can pass that on to your constituents. We're also on the right-of-way, starting vegetation management, starting in Babylon all the way out through Patchogue. The LIRR maintains over 700 miles of right-of-way, and one of the reasons why, well, a couple of reasons why we need to do vegetation management is to keep signal and communication lines clear. It provides clear line of sight for our engineers. It prevents wheel slip and slide conditions, which impact service reliability, and it also reduces fire hazards. So if you see us on the right-of-way, that's what we're doing. But if you have any constituent concerns, Vanessa's information and my information will be outside, and anybody's welcome to contact us.
Thank you so much for coming down with that information. And as you're doing those upgrades, if you can get that to us, we'll be sure that Public Information has it and puts it up on the website, so those that may be affected will be aware of what's going on.
Fantastic.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jim Schlouch.
Hello, everybody. Jim Slout, 415 Clift. The 3 minutes is not enough time, so I want to bring up some stuff from last time. We got the loud parties. We had one on St. John and Cordello. That's 6 blocks from my house, about a half a mile away. I went over there in the Jeep to talk to them. I got cursed out. I went back around the block, and I saw another guy out there, a car come up behind me. I started to leave. They started following me, and I got out of the Jeep, and they took off. I called the cops. It was 12 o'clock at night. I can hear it 6 blocks away. They're blasting it. It doesn't stop. Then there was another one more than a mile away from the house. This is why they closed down Islip Speedway, by the way, because of this noise, and they put mufflers on cars. You would think that it would be intuitive not to do this, because I remember the Halcyon days when we moved into Central Islip in '68. You know, it was a bucolic neighborhood. Now, you know, you sit in your house on a Saturday and you want to read the Wall Street Journal or listen to a contralto or maybe a piano concerto. You can't listen to that. You got the neighbors next door blasting the music. The mirror fell off the wall this time. I didn't notice it until I saw the broken glass on the floor. You know, and then you call the cops. They can't do this at any time, by the way. I go to the police meetings at the precinct. But they're busy with other things. I was thinking maybe you can get these town rangers on a weekend where you can call them and they can try to stop it. And if they need backup, they could call Suffolk County Police. Because, you know, I remember when my father had cancer and he was dying of lung cancer. This wasn't going on back then. But could you imagine him getting out of the hospital and coming home to this? It drives you crazy. Sometimes you have a cadence of 120 beats per minute. It just doesn't stop. I got a whole bunch of these. These are all notes from all parties. When I called, who I talked to, what cop showed up. Sometimes I have to ask for a supervisor to come, and they stop it, but then they turn the music back up. Maybe you're a Republican. Maybe you have connections with ICE. Maybe they're illegal immigrants. I don't know, because it's always the Spanish doing it. They have no respect at all. It's unbelievable. The cops come, they turn it right back up again. If they're citizens, I don't think they took civic lessons, that's for sure. This is, you got a guy in Brentwood who's doing the same thing I am. He's the one who told me to take notes, because I go to the precinct and talk to them about this. But I'm thinking about the guy who had the stage 4 brain cancer. He had a hole in his head, the poor guy. And he had it next door to him. And he told me, you know, he called the cops and they didn't come. And my lady friend, she's elderly, they threw a 10-pound sledgehammer through a window for reporting the party. This is what the neighborhood's like. And they want to spend $10 million on a road with all these derelicts. Thank you.
Jim, if you would, the commissioner is there. If you could share those notes with him, that might be very, very helpful. Thank you. Thanks for coming down. Edward Enders.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Town Board. Supervisor. Can you hear me? My name is Edward Enders. I'm with the Carpenters Union, Local 290, based here in Hauppauge. As you can see in the room, I have some of my members with me here. I'd like to, the people from the railroad before, we do a lot of work for the railroad. We are improving Wyandanch, Brentwood, and Deer Park stations right now, and it's moving along well. But I'd like to talk about the apprentice language. Islip's like probably the only town on Long Island that doesn't have some version of, to the best of my knowledge, of the apprentice language. And if you're not familiar with it, it's pretty basic. It states that any contractor, general contractor, or subcontractor that's going to perform work on a building over 100,000 square feet has to have a New York State approved apprentice program for the craft in which they're doing the work. So if you're an electrical contractor, you have to have a New York State approved electrical program for apprenticeship. And it's pretty easy. You know, it's a no-brainer because it enables, not everybody from Islip can go to college, wants to go to college, or that's their thing. And by entering into the building trades, you could make a living, support your family, support your families, and be you know, tax-paying citizens of the town of Islip, which, like I said, it's a no-brainer. Recently, the town of Riverhead has passed for municipal work only that anything over $250,000 or 100,000 square feet, anybody wishing to do work would also have to have a New York State approved apprenticeship program for their craft. And it doesn't cost the town anything more. It's all prevailing wage laws. You're just requiring people to have training, and there's, you know, what's the downside of training? I don't think there is any. So with that, I'd just like to thank the board and Supervisor Carpenter for your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ed. Nicole Gardner.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Nicole Gradner, 270 Motor Parkway, Hauppauge, New York. I joined the Carpenters Union in 2007 as an apprentice. In 4 years, I graduated the program, to which I was out on the field working as a carpenter for 12 years thereafter, before moving up to become a staff member with the organization. I strongly feel if it wasn't for the Carpenters Union, I would never have had that opportunity to work out in the field and learn this trade. And in addition to our traditional apprenticeship program, we also offer a women's pre-apprentice program, which we did for the second time this year. And we accepted 12 women into the program who will be graduating this Thursday at 5 o'clock. And we, of course, welcome all of you to attend that graduation of the 12 women who will now have an opportunity, as I have, in this organization with the Carpenters Union. And of course, if you're not able to make it for that graduation, the door is always open for you to view our training facility. So thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Nelsina Day.
Nelsina A. Day, 27 East Cherry Street, Sutter Islip, New York. Good afternoon, board members. And first and foremost, thank you for our pool. I love it. It's absolutely...
Nelsina,
What?
hold a moment. I don't... As these people are exiting, and Caitlin will start the time again, just so we can hear you.
Okay, as I was saying, it gave me a lot of love and admiration that pool is open. To see it from the beginning to the end is absolutely beautiful. And I would like to thank Mr. Owens and all of his crew for all the hard work and for listening to my complaints constantly. But The outcome is very beautiful, and I hope the kids will enjoy it. Some of the things that I have right now is at Aldwin Drive, where I guess it's Foxgate building them townhomes over there. Part of the road has been taken up. That road needs to be widened because now you can't get 2 cars down it. The Clayton Community Park, we still need those trees pruned back behind where the playground is. Now at 455 Clayton Street, there's overgrown weeds. At Burke and Brightside, overgrown weeds on the sidewalk. The Sousa area that they bought, that stuff is overgrown. It puts a blight on our community. And one of the things that we've noticed that people brought up to me is while they're taking down the NYIT buildings, there's no drape for the asbestos that is being released. So the people that live on Sunburst, you know, they would like somebody to look into that as to why there is no draping. Last but not least, again, the Roberto Clemente Park, I thank you. I adore it, and I'm quite sure it's going to be a fabulous thing for our community because we've been looking for it for a long time, and we thank you that it's now open and hope to see you Monday night, God willing. Thank you.
Thank you, Nelsina. Just a point of clarification. They have been at Clayton Street trimming the trees for the last 2 weeks, so you might not have been there recently. So just check that out. And don't wait for a town board meeting to come with these issues of specific areas. Just call. This way we can shoot it to the department and get it going instead of you waiting for a town board meeting. Thank you. Greg Pepe.
Greg Pepe, Islip, New York. I would like to just pick up where I left off last month when it came to the Heartland, the sewage that's going to be created there. Now, this is a report that I have here from the Suffolk County doing a calculation on wastewater generation 2 months after this board voted to give Jerry approval on just phase 1 alone. Now, this incorporates a boundary section of 9.2 acres in the DU1A section, which are sections 23, 25A, 25B, and 27. Now, this incorporates 319 units. The estimated total gallons per day is 80,175 gallons generated. If that would have been left AAA residential zoning, the number of units would have generated per day 2,400 gallons. Now, being he's not willing to put an on-site treatment plant, and you didn't require him to prior to the zone change, now it's left up to the taxpayers to offset this cost to run a line from that phase 1 development area to the Southwest Sewer District Bergen Point plant. Now, just to give you an idea how much this generation of gallons per day, 80,000 gallons, you can fill, or you would need to fill 9 tractor-trailer trucks, which would give you 81,000 gallons at 9,000 gallons per one of those gasoline transport tankers. On the same token, if that would have been left AAA residential at 2,400 gallons a day, you've already occupied less than 1/3 of one tanker truck. So now, for the environmentalist people that we have in this town, I think that you can see now how zoning change affects the environment quality of your lives. You understand? So before you start, giving awards and thanks to our town board and supervisor, you should look into what's causing this urbanization, this massive build-out across Islip and pretty much western Suffolk County. The only farmlands left are really protected by the Peconic Land Trust out in Riverhead, Southold, and even parts of Southampton, which is basically gone from agriculture. But the scary thing here is that they're building and giving these approvals, changing the zone regulations and zoning laws to benefit these people, to create these stack 'em and pack 'em type of urbanization projects. And literally anyone that's going to be paying $2,000 a month to live there, you're better off moving out of state and start off in a single-family house with much lower tax rates. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Harrison Bench.
Harrison Bench, 17 George Street, Sayville. Good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to begin by thanking Supervisor Carpenter and all of you for hopefully my appointment to the Islip Town Environmental Commission. I feel that with a student voice on that board, there will be a lot of positive change. And hopefully the concerns of my group, I'm representing the Suffolk Student Climate Action Committee, will be able to enact more change and more positive progress by having an official seat on that commission. So I want to thank you guys. I wanted to also bring up the designation of a staff person in either the planning department or the public works department as a sustainability go-to person. I feel like if we had someone in the town of Islip government to help facilitate progress on the issue of sustainability and renewable energy and combating climate change, I feel like we'd be able to get a lot more done. So I'd like to just check in on the progress on that. I know you'd mentioned, Supervisor Carpenter, at our meeting in June, that within the next 2 to 3 months that you'll be filling spots, you'll be designating someone. So I'd love to see that come about, hopefully before, the fall kicks in. I wanted to also briefly mention, I'm actually a lifeguard for the town of Islip. I work at Sayville Marina Park. I think a great addition next season would be public water fountains at all town facilities, parks, pools, beaches, because I've been able to see a lot of people come to the beach and pools without water, and then they look for free water, and we only have a vending machine. So I'd like to see that hopefully maybe we'd be able to make progress on that front in the future, affording people the opportunity to, get a drink of water while they're at a town facility. So with that, I'd like to say thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your summer.
Thank you very much, Harrison. Next speaker, Doug King.
Thank you. Douglas King, 1216 Kirkland Court, Central Islip, New York. The main reason why I'm up here today is to talk about item 17 that's on the agenda. I'm glad to see that the town is getting back into being proactive on the Islip Disability Advisory Board. I look forward to working with Councilman O'Connor and the other members, and I'm also glad to see that Roberto Clemente Park has a chairlift for people with disabilities that have difficulty. I understand this too, but at least that's a step in the right direction, and I'm glad to see that. Maybe my wife and I will be using it.
I hope so.
Thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Doug. Thanks for coming down, and hopefully we'll see you Monday. Kathy McConnell.
Hi there, Kathy McConnell, 240 Secretog Lane, West Islip. Since February, I've been working with the Islip Town Environmental Council. I was invited to help them due to my background in wildlife ecology and conservation, as well as environmental communications. I was a producer for National Geographic Specials and also for the Nature Series, so I've been to a lot of places around the world, but now I'm really paying attention to my backyard, and it was long overdue, I think. And what I would like to do is actually leave. I have copies here for all the members of the board and the supervisor, as well as other commissioners that might be interested. This was an initiative that ITEC put together for energy efficiency and clean energy initiatives. To save taxpayers money and preserve a clean and healthy environment, the town can reduce its energy use. So I take a strongly recommending that the town join the New York State Energy and Research Development Authority's and NYSERDA's Clean Energy Community Program, because it provides resources and guidelines to help our town achieve greater energy efficiency and a cleaner and healthier environment. To that end, we would hope the town would take 4 of NYSERDA's recommended high-impact actions, and then we would become the last town, except for Oyster Bay on Long Island, to become a clean energy community. We are kind of a standout in that way. This would also make us eligible for very flexible, first-come, first-served $5,000 grants to help us continue to reduce our energy costs. The 4 high-impact actions we recommend are clean fleets. Actually, that's one you've already done, and kudos to you for that, because we meet the criteria by opening a compressed natural gas station in MacArthur facility and using CNG garbage trucks. That's a wonderful thing. Another thing we could do is the energy code enforcement training, which at no cost to the town, NYSERDA will train town compliance officers to enforce the New York State Energy Building Code. The training is online, and it only takes like 1.5 days, and they will actually come and go to a site and help them go through it to make them compliant with the state's requirements. Another great thing to do would be if the town adopted the universal solar permit. By adopting New York State's universal solar permit, it would streamline the process for these developments in the town, and it would meet the state's legal requirements, and it would be a great thing for businesses because it makes their lives that much easier if our town was compliant with all the other towns on Long Island. And another thing would be benchmarking. We actually get the use of a clean energy community coordinator who's paid by the state. He's an engineer with Cameron Engineering. And we get full use of this guy who would come and help us organize our energy bills so that the town could actually do an assessment of where they might be wasting energy and where they could cut down on their costs. So I hope the town of Islip would take these actions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming down, Kathy. Appreciate it.
Who do I leave these with?
If you would just give them to the clerk. Thank you. Noemi Morales.
Good afternoon to you all. Thank you for the opportunity.
Can you just pull that microphone down so we can hear you? Thank you.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Good afternoon. It's so much that I have that I just wrote it down. I'm going to briefly go over it. My name is Noemi Morales. I live on 25 Belgrave Avenue in Bay Shore, New York. And this is to a house 27 Belgrave Avenue in Bay Shore. This is a house that it took me plenty of years to have this boarded up. And these individual squatters have been there for 2.5 years, and it has been a headache and unsafety for our neighborhood and our children. They smoke crack cocaine all day long. I can't even take out my grandkids because it smells so much. They drink, they party. This individual is like a trap house where people come every week, different kinds of people. They do whatever they want. They have 3 pit bulls in the backyard. No one can come. I've called the town here, and I reported it. I called my congresswoman. I also have called the CPS because they have children there with no shoes, diapers. They do the smoking, the drinking, sexual activities, and because there's not enough room in the house, they have a tent on the side of the house where they have sexual activities, and they actually have activities outside in their vehicles in front of the house. I am sick of it, and I'm coming here to ask if you could please have this house boarded up again. These are people that have moved in, and trespassed into a private property. And as a taxpayer, I work hard. I work at the VA, and I work hard, and I work weekends. I hardly sleep because of their noise, and it's not fair. For the men and women in blue, I have a lot of love for them, but I called my 3rd precinct, and I told them one time that there was an individual there saying that he was going to kill somebody in that home. It took them over a half hour to get there. When they get there, from outside the street, the officers asked them, is everything is okay? When I gave them the instruction where everybody was at, no one came to the house. They, from the street, asked the woman, is everything is okay? And all she said, yes, everything was okay. They were just roughing it out. They left. As soon as a police officer leaves, the same nonsense start. You know, I have grandchildren. Not all Latin women or men or Latinas like me, we're not the same. You know, I'm a hardworking person. I like a clean home and a clean environment. So I'm here to beg the town hall to please, you know, check this 27 Belgrave Avenue. The police officers, they need to come around our block, you know, and drive around. And it's not fair that I am paying for my home very hard. I work very hard. And you know, they're going to drive me away. I refuse to have that, you know. And this is what I came for. CPS tried to go in there, but there was nothing. They won't let them in. So I really need help, and I appreciate all you can give me.
Well, thank you very much for coming down. The commissioner is here, Tony D'Amico, who will meet you out in the hall. Also, too, you know, I appreciate the fact that you noted that the police department needs to come around, because a lot of these issues, we're not the police.
Right.
You know, we have code enforcement, we have fire marshals, harbor, but we're not the police. And a lot of the issues, you know, rise to a level that we really can't address. But we do work very, very closely with the police department. A lot of times, some of these homes where there are squatters, we will go in, do a joint effort with the police. So you were right in coming down. We will do whatever we can to help you, and the commissioner is certainly poised to do so.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Patricia Cantor.
Hi. Can you hear me? I've been in my home 41 years. I've been in my home.
If you could just, for the clerk, your name and address, please.
Patricia McArdle Cantori, 129 Church Avenue, Islip. I have never heard such low, loud aircraft in all the years that I've lived here. Approximately 10 years ago, the FAA implemented a new flight path just south of me. But they don't, the private ones, the private aircraft does not stay in that. More often than not, they fly directly over my home. Now, maybe it's to save gas, or maybe it's because I've complained so much. I have contacted the FAA, who's done nothing. In fact, the head guy there, this is several years ago, I stopped calling, insinuated that women exaggerate. Another guy there told me on my calendar to note the times on each day on the calendar that they've been flying over. Startling noise. I mean, I live in a bungalow. My cabinets in my kitchen vibrate, the dishes in there. So he told me to write that down. I emailed it over to him. I never heard back. I emailed it again just to make sure. I didn't hear back. I emailed, did you get my email? 3-4 times. I started calling. He was never available. Finally, I called with a fictitious name, and guess what? He picked up the phone. Then he told me, flat out, very serious, there was no flight activity on any of those dates at any of those times. Yet, I'm not stupid. I could look it up on any aircraft website and see that it happened. So this is how I was treated with them. The police department, this must be some big shot doing this, because the police department blows me off too. We have no rights over aircraft. Peter King said that there's no laws against helicopters. In the beginning, when it first started, there was every single day helicopters constantly, not just military. I've looked them up. A lot of them are private helicopters, either going out to the Hamptons or flying into Islip Airport. Now, I just want to know, why can't I retire peacefully and sit down on my porch without listening to helicopters? This has to stop. I know they're probably generating money into the town. No? Well, you know, I've spoken to the woman that runs the I've spoken to everyone over there. They were saying it's the flight schools. It's not the flight schools. Once in a great while, it was the flight schools, but 99% of the time, it was helicopters. Now that the helicopters have ceased almost, this morning, 7 a.m., sometimes in the middle of the night, it's been, am I done now? Does that mean I'm done? Commercial planes. I've never heard them fly so low and squealing. So I think someone's pissed off that I keep complaining, because I've never in 41 years heard so much commercial aircraft flying over like that. It's got to stop. It's not fair. I struggled for 25 years alone paying my taxes. And I'm telling you, my taxes were more than my mortgage, double my mortgage payment. It's got to stop. Someone has to do something,
Well, we
because no one's listening.
certainly sent your frustration, and we certainly have been listening. I'm not quite sure, quite frankly, what or if there's anything we as a town board can do. However, if you can get copies of your emails, correspondence, whatever, and I'd ask that you give it to the Public Safety
I have
Commissioner.
videos and audio sounds of
Okay,
it.
if you would give it to the Public Safety Commissioner, we'll review it, and if there is anything that we can do, contacting anyone that would be appropriate, we
It's just
certainly will make the effort.
It's so horrible to be sitting there or trying to fall asleep at 11:30 at night, and a helicopter comes flying directly over. Sometimes right along the side of the house that I'm sitting in. There's something fishy going on, and no one's doing a thing about it.
Thank
So
you for
that's what I
coming down.
get for paying taxes for 41 years in Islip.
Thank you.
And you know what? I don't like the idea of having a music festival in our quiet little village either.
Thank you for coming down. As far as the music festival, you'll have to take that up with the Chamber of Commerce. Okay, that's it as far as anyone who signed up to speak. I have a motion to close the public portion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Bergen, second. Second by Councilwoman Mullen. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It is approved. Thank you. All right, the first item on the agenda this afternoon are the bid awards. Are there any questions? Hearing none, motion? Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It is approved. Next item on the agenda are the option year resolutions. Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Mullen, second. Second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Item 3, the town board authorization to clean up and secure, demolish certain properties in the town of Islip. Karen?
Good afternoon, Madam Supervisor, members of the Town Board, Town Clerk, Taryn Krasinski, Assistant Town Attorney, 655 Main Street, Islip, New York. Number 1 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 2, to board and clean up the premises located at 5 South Road, Central Islip. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Bergen, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved.
Number 3, to board and clean up the premises located at 9 Lawrence Circle in Islip. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved.
Number 4, to board and clean up the premises located at 15 Patton Street, Brentwood. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, evidence of squatters, high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Bergen, second. I'll make that second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved.
Number 5, to board and clean up the premises located at 17 Boyd Avenue, Bayshore. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, an unregistered vehicle, high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran.
Second.
Second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Number 6 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 7 has also been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 8, to clean up the premises located at 44 3rd Avenue, East Islip. On this property, there now exists high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor.
Second.
Second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Number 9, to clean up the premises located at 44 Bay Avenue, Bayshore. On this property, there now exists high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Number 10, to clean up the premises located at 49 East Elm Street in Central Islip. On this property, there now exists high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Bergen,
Second.
second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Number 11 has been withdrawn. Number 12, to board up the premises located at 92 Ocean Avenue, Bayshore. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exist holes in the roof and soffit, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second
Second.
by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
Number 13 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 14, to board and clean up the premises located at 187 Hilltop Drive, Brentwood. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors with high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Number 15, to demolish the premises located at 196 Word Street in Brentwood. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists an unsafe main dwelling, which is in immediate danger of collapse due to a house fire, structural failure, disrepair, and neglect. The structure has been determined to be in imminent danger of collapse by our senior building inspector. The premises constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any questions? Motion by Councilman Bergen, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Number 16, to board and clean up the premises located at 260 Cliff Street, Central Islip. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors with high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Motion? Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Number 17, to board and clean up the premises located at 260 Maple Street, Islip. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, an unsecured garage door with a fence in disrepair, high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second
Second.
by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Number 18, to board up the premises located at 367 Whipple Street, Brentwood. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, an unsecured in-ground pool, and an unsecured garage door, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Are there any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman O'Connor,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Number 19, to demolish the premises located at 637 Middle Road, Bayport. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists both an unsafe main dwelling and a barn structure, which are both in immediate danger of collapse due to a structural failure, disrepair, and neglect. The structures have been determined to be in imminent danger of collapse by our senior building inspector. The premises constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions?
I just have one quick question. So both of the structures will be demolished?
Yes.
Motion?
Make a motion?
Motion by Councilwoman Mullins, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Is approved.
Number 20 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 21 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 22, to clean up the premises located at 1317 Chicago Avenue, Bayshore. On this property, there now exists high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris with unregistered vehicles, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? Is approved.
Number 23 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Taryn. We move to item number 4, meeting of the Town of Islip Resource Recovery Agency. I'd call for a motion for the board to convene.
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Bergen, second by Councilman O'Connor. The agency board meeting is convened, the quorum being present. Commissioner Heil.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the agency board. James Heil, President of the agency, 201 Main Street, Islip, New York. I have 3 resolutions. First is approval of the minutes for the meeting of June 19th, 2018.
Any questions, additions, corrections on the minutes? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Bergen, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved.
Resolution 3 is authorizing the president to enter into a contract extension between the agency and RNC Formation Limited for professional services related to the monitoring, analysis, and reporting of groundwater at the Lincoln Avenue landfill for the years 2019, 2020. This is a contract extension.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second.
Second.
Second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Last resolution authorizes the president of the agency to enter into certain short-term contracts which do not exceed $10,000 in revenue and for a term no longer than 3 months, subject to the written notification to the supervisor within 10 days of execution and in a form subject to the approval of the town attorney.
Thank you. Any questions? Motion?
I'm sorry, Jerry, could I just get, I got a copy of the first memo. Can I just get a copy of that second memo that's addressed?
It's the only copy I have right now.
Okay.
But I'll give you a copy.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran. I'll second the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Abstain.
We have 3 in favor, 2 abstentions. Motion is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
There is no other business. Well, a motion to adjourn
Motion adjourned.
by Councilman Cochran, second
Second.
by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor, opposed. The meeting of the Islip Resource Recovery Agency is adjourned. That takes us to item 5, authorization for supervisor to apply and accept grant funding from the Department of State in the amount of $50,000 for the purchase and installation of an algae bioreactor at the Shellfish Hatchery. Any questions? Motion?
Make a motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second.
Second.
By Councilman Mullen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Item 6, Town of Islip Industrial Development Agency. I call for a motion for the board to convene.
Motion?
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second.
Second.
By Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? The agency board is convened, the quorum being present. Bill.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the agency board. William Mannix, Executive Director, Town of Islip Industrial Development Agency, 40 Nassau Avenue, Islip. I have a number of resolutions for your consideration today, the first of which is the approval of the minutes of the July 17th meeting.
Any questions on the minutes? Motion?
Motion to approve.
By Councilwoman Mullen, second.
Second.
By Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes are approved.
Next item on the agenda is a relatively routine mortgage refinancing for an existing IDA project, Ascent Pharmaceuticals, located on South Technology Drive in Central Islip.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
By Councilman Cochran, second.
Second.
By Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Next item on the agenda is a new project, an inducement resolution, also for a pharmaceutical company, ABH Pharma. ABH, some of you might recall, was a company that we moved out of Farmingdale into Heartland Industrial Park approximately 4 years ago. They're growing so rapidly that they have decided to purchase the building directly across the street, 40,000 square feet. When they came to us originally, they had 15 employees. They now have 90. They'll be creating an additional 55 and investing slightly more than $8 million in this new project.
Any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second.
Second.
By Councilman Bergen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved.
Next item on the agenda is also a new project, an inducement resolution with Quesos La Recura. They are a food manufacturer. They're currently in Hicksville, where they employ 340 people. They are looking to expand and purchase at 151 Alkier Street in Brentwood, and they will be adding 100 jobs as a result of that expansion, and also investing approximately $8 million in the project.
Any questions?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Next item on the agenda is a combination inducement authorizing resolution. You saw this at your last meeting in the form of a preliminary inducement resolution, and it involves the retention of U.S. Alliance paper located at 101 and 111 Heartland Boulevard in Brentwood.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Mullins, second.
Second.
Second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved.
Next item is an authorizing resolution for 55 Paradise Lane Realty. You also saw this in the form of an inducement resolution at our last meeting. This is a proposed 180,000 square foot speculative industrial building located on property formerly owned by Entenmann's Corporation.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Next item is an amended authorizing resolution involving the Cornerstone at Hauppauge, which is a senior housing complex located at Motor Parkway and 111 in Hauppauge. You've already authorized this project, but there is a new equity partner involved in the transaction, and that equity partner now has to be authorized before this deal can go forward.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Bergen, second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
We have another amended authorizing resolution. This involves Brothers Duo, also known as Sousa Soccer, for the former Little League fields in Central Islip. This amended authorizing resolution recognizes a sale rather than a lease agreement, which previously existed.
Any questions? Motion by Councilman Cochran, second.
Second.
Second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
The last item on the agenda is a resolution to authorize an agreement between the agency and CGR, Center for Governmental Research, for an $875 contract for supplying us with a computer program for our cost-benefit analysis.
Any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second. Second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
I have no
There's
other
no other
items for your
business to come before us. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? The meeting of the Town of Islip Industrial Development Agency is adjourned. Okay. Next item on the agenda is authorization for the supervisor to exercise the town's option to extend the agreement with Backflow Specialists to perform RPZ testing on Suffolk County Water Authority pipes located in all Town of Islip facilities. Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? Is approved. Item 8, authorization for supervisor to execute supplemental agreement number 3 and any additional required documents with the New York State Department of Transportation for the improvement of Bayway Corridor. Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Mullen, second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 9, authorization for supervisor to enter into various agreements for programs to be held throughout the town to be funded by either registration or grant fees. Any questions? Hearing none. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Mullen, second.
Second.
By Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Authorization for supervisor to execute a lease and any additional documentation necessary thereto to Yamaha Finance Corporation for 170 golf carts. Any questions? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. We go to item 11, authorization for the town clerk to advertise for public hearing to consider the adoption of amendments to the Town of Islip Traffic Code. Any questions? Hearing none. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Mullen, second.
Second.
Second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 12, authorization for supervisor to execute a professional service agreement with application software DPA as a flex for the administration of health flexible spending arrangements for the town. Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Bergen, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 13, authorization for the town clerk to advertise for public hearing and consider the adoption of amendments to Chapter 68 of the Islip Town Code. Any questions?
I have a question.
Certainly.
So, Mr. Conklin, I'd asked for a explanation of some of these zoning changes from the planning department, and I guess they'll get that to me before the public hearing.
Yeah, I reached out to the planning commissioner after we spoke, and he will set something up with you.
Great.
And I noticed...
This resolution is just setting the date.
Just setting the date for the public
Understood,
hearing.
but what I don't see is the actual date. So is there a date anticipated?
We have to refer these to the Suffolk County Planning Commission, so once we get their response back, we'll be able to set the date.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman Mullen. I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The public hearing then will be set. Item 14, the appointment of Harrison Gifford Bench, to the Islip Town Environmental Board. I will make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, Harrison. We're looking forward to your service on the board. Item 15, authorization for the supervisor to enter into a lease agreement with the West Sable Boat Basin for the use of certain town-owned parcel of land lying at the southerly end of West Avenue in Sable. Any questions? Hearing none. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Bergen, second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Authorization for the supervisor to enter into a license agreement with Robert Oremo of MND Marine Services for the use of 62 feet of bulkhead located at the terminus of Athasha Road in Islip. Any questions? Hearing none. Motion by Councilman Cochran, second. Second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 17 is for the Town Board of Approval to reappoint 8 members and appoint 6 new members of the Town of Islip Americans with Disabilities Advisory Board, and authorization with the supervisor to designate James B. O'Connor as chairman of the Town of Islip Americans with Disabilities Advisory Board. I thank Councilman O'Connor for his willingness to serve and look forward to getting reports and seeing some really good dialogue taking place. We have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Councilman Mullen, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 18, authorization for the supervisor to execute a professional services agreement for the supervisor with DY Consultants for engineering services relating to the obstruction survey and analysis at the Bayport Aerodrome. Any questions? Hearing none. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Mullen, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Item 19, authorization with the town clerk to advertise for a public hearing to consider entering into an airline use agreement with Elite Airways. Any questions? Hearing none. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran. I'll second that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Is approved. Item 20, appropriation transfers. Any questions? Motion by Councilman Bergen, second. I'll make that second. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 21, Town Board approval to establish a standard workday for certain elected and appointed officials for the Town of Islip. Any questions? I'll make the motion.
Second.
Second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Item 22, approval of an adjustment on the assessment roll to establish base proportion ratios for homestead and non-homestead for the 2018-19 assessment year as set forth in the Real Property Tax Law, Article 19, report on file in the office of the town clerk. Any questions? Hearing none. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second
Second.
Second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Next item on the agenda are the special events. We have 2 parades, 3 festivals, and 15 block parties, and many other great events in the town. Are there any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Item 24, authorization for the town attorney to execute any and all documentation necessary to obtain Jones Day to represent the town of Islip. Any questions? Hearing none. Motion?
Joe, you were going to get me that retainer? Thank you.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second.
Second.
By Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? Is approved. Item 25 is for the appointment of Vincent J. Messina as a member to the Zoning Board of Appeals to fill in an unexpired term. Motion by Councilman Cochran. Second.
I'll second that.
Second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed?
Abstain?
We have 2 in favor, 3 in favor, 2 abstentions. The resolution is approved. Item 26 is for the appointment of John Lorenzo as chairman of the Zoning Board of Appeals.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Councilman Mullen.
Second.
Second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. That concludes the regular business before the town. Everyone enjoy the rest of the summer. We will see you Monday at the gala celebration at Roberto Clemente Pool at 5 o'clock. Thank you so much.
Motion to adjourn?
We have a motion.
Second.
Motion to adjourn. Second by Councilman O'Connor. We stand adjourned.
Major emergencies can strike in an instant, and in those moments, information is the key to staying safe. Town of Islip officials urge residents to take advantage of Islip's e-alert system to stay informed during hurricanes and major emergencies and to receive important news in their community. Residents, businesses, and community leaders can all benefit from this system, which can instantaneously pass important information to those who have signed up. The alert system has evolved into a necessary tool for all Islip residents, and here to stress the importance is Islip Town Supervisor Angie Carpenter.
You know, being the supervisor of the town, one of the most important things to me is making sure we keep our residents safe. And we try to give you those tools whenever possible, get information to you in a timely fashion. And one of the ways we can do that is with our e-alert system. So if you haven't already done so, I ask that you please go to the Town of Islip website, islipny.gov, and go to the link for e-alert. Put your information in there, and this way, whatever disaster may be coming our way, and hopefully there are none, but any information that we need to get to you, we can get to you in a timely fashion. Thank you so much, and please stay safe.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Hi there, this is Islip Town Supervisor Angie Carpenter, and I'm excited to share the wonderful news with our residents that the pool construction at Roberto Clemente Park has been completed. Since the groundbreaking for work on the pool in 2017, our crews have worked tirelessly to complete the renovation and give our residents a new summer destination. During this process, though, we found the existing pool had a lot more structural damage than initially thought, and most of the original pool walls were actually destroyed and beyond repair. This development forced the construction of a brand new pool, actually, to ensure the safety of our residents and to restore the Olympic-sized pool. This development, combined with the harsh winter we experienced, caused us to revise our initial anticipated completion date. Through the perseverance of our crews, through the leadership of the Department of Public Works and Parks Commissioner Tom Owens, and with the great patience of our excited residents, we have now accomplished our goal, and not just restored the pool at Roberto Clemente Park, but essentially constructed an entirely new pool for our residents to enjoy. The new picnic tables are handicapped accessible as well and can be found under our new sun shelters. Also of special note are the beautiful grounds around the pool. Commissioner Owens and his staff did a tremendous job planting trees, laying down sod, and really creating a scenic setting for our new pool that is colorfully green and lively looking. Our residents can enjoy the marvelous pool, which features brand new state-of-the-art materials, including 2 handicapped access points into the water for individuals with special needs. The pool at Roberto Clemente Park is a wonderful asset to the Central Islip and Brentwood communities, and actually to the town of Islip as a whole. We move forward as we continue our quest to bring much-needed restoration to Roberto Clemente Park and the surrounding areas. The Renaissance at this park is a monument to the strength, versatility, and perseverance of our communities that we are proud to have in our wonderful town of Islip.